In this room, there are 7 chairs placed behind a long table, one beside the next. It is 1951, and one of these people is about to give an answer to a simple question that will impact our understanding of human behavior, perhaps forever. The 7 people are told by a researcher that they are part of a study, a vision test. They are told that they will be shown 2 cards and asked a very simple question. Which comparison line, A, B, or C, is most like the target line? All they needed to do was identify a simple match and say their answer out loud, one at a time, nothing else. The first 2 line comparisons goes as one would imagine. All the answers are clear as day. Everyone gives the correct answer, everyone has good vision. Then something strange happens on the 3rd line comparison. The first person gives an answer that is obviously wrong. The lines clearly do not match. If that isn't strange enough, then the next person says the same wrong answer. And so does the next participant. And every person after that. How could such an obvious mistake be made by 7 different people? To understand that, we will have to pull the veil off of this charade. There are 7 people being asked questions here, but 6 of them are actors. Only one person is really being tested here. The purpose of this research is not to test vision, but to study conformity. How can social pressure from other people change someone's behavior or response to an obvious question? In the control group, with no actors and no pressure to conform, only 2% of participants gave a wrong answer. However, with pressure to conform from actors, 75% of participants gave a wrong answer. That is more than 37 times as many people who changed their answers just to go along with the crowd. We like to think of ourselves as independent, steadfast, and morally guided. However, it is easy to underestimate the power of persuasion and its effect on our so-called free will. While this experiment may seem like an isolated scenario, take for example how we are pressured every day by marketing, sometimes without even knowing it. We've all seen a product or service offering that comes in 3 different levels, like bronze, silver, gold. Let's say it's a gift card. Let's say 100 people buy gift cards with no predetermined amount. They just choose what they want to spend. Out of those 100 people, the average self-selected gift card purchase is $20. Knowing this, the business creates 3 gift cards with pre-selected levels in a tactic called price framing, or Goldilocks pricing. They choose $5, $25, and $100. They know the customer will see $5 is too little, likewise $100 too high, so all of a sudden $25 seems pretty reasonable. But that's a 25% increase from the $20 amount they would have chosen if no other prices were offered to frame their decision. Admittedly, this is a low-stakes example. Some could argue that $5 isn't a big deal, and well, at least they're getting what they paid for in the end. But what if these concepts of social pressure had more dire consequences? Not just a vision test, not just a gift card, but what if we were talking about a human life? In a landmark study known as the Milgram Experiment, participants were ordered to administer increasingly deadly electric shocks to another person by an authority figure. Every time the student answered a question incorrectly, the teacher was instructed by an experimenter to deliver an electric shock to the student. While the teacher believed he was delivering real shocks to the student was an actor, only pretending to be shocked. At the beginning, the student would show only mild discomfort to the shocks. As the experiment progressed, the student would begin to beg to be released or even complain about a heart condition. Once they reached a 300-volt level, the student would bang on the wall and demand to be released. Next, the student became completely silent and stopped answering any questions. The experimenter then instructed the teacher to treat this silence as an incorrect response and deliver a further shock. Surprisingly, 65% of people were willing to deliver the maximum shock level under the orders from the experimenter. This research on obedience shocked people back in the 1960s, but the findings are just as stunning to this day. People are willing to obey authority figures even when they know the orders they are following are morally wrong. In a way that's hard to fully express, it is hurtful to know that we are so heavily influenced. Courage doesn't always come to us naturally, but we should take comfort in the fact that courage can be learned. These forces that seek to push us off our narrow path, they can be understood. They can be forecasted. They can be defeated. Here are 3 tactics that you can use to build your ability to resist, to deny, to have the courage of no. Number 1, ask for time. Can you give me a few minutes? I'd like to think it over. Can I get back to you tomorrow? Social pressure loves impulse. Slow the situation down and ask for time. Contemplate your decision and come back with a choice that those you care about would be proud of. Number 2, have a go-to sentence. Call me crazy, but I'm not seeing it the way you are. I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to disagree. Sometimes it's hard to find the right words. Having a pre-formulated go-to sentence is an easy way to say no when the time is right. Number 3, bring a friend. If you're stepping into a situation where you know you might be pressured by people who are all saying and doing the opposite of what you believe in, bring a friend who is on your side, who will act with you. It is hard to stand alone, so if you don't have to, don't. In life, people are going to ask you to do things you don't want to do. Not just mundane requests you don't have time for, but moral dilemmas that will test your character. And character is not measured by numbers. It isn't some participation trophy. It's about the courage to stand up for what is right, and when you see something that goes against your values, not being a coward. It's about having the courage of no. Thank you so much for watching this video on the courage of no. If you've been watching a couple of these videos, you like them, I encourage you to subscribe. But I actually wanted to let you know of a resource, a tool that's available free for you right now. And those are promise cards. If you don't know what they are, check it out. BecauseIsaidaway.com/promise cards. We've distributed over 11.3 million to over 153 countries. So maybe there's something to it. But I have a question for you, a question about this thought of not maybe even a no, but a yes. At what point in your life were you maybe most disappointed by a yes that wasn't real? Take that thought, share it in the comment section below. You know, we're not trying to put too many people on blast, so maybe make it anonymous. But when have you been disappointed by a yes that wasn't real? Thank you so much for watching.